Welcome back, everybody, to Lost Boys Presents Deep Cuts. This is our 7th episode of Deep Cuts. I got my man, the Ono, right here with me, one of our favorite guests. What's up, man? How you been?
I'm good.
That's good, man. Walt, thanks for agreeing to record one of these with me.
Well, I'm lucky number 7. That's up.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. Lucky number 7. I mean, I don't know exactly when you came on. It's got to be pretty early though, right? You've been on since like what?
Yeah, I can't. I should have gone on it because my very first episode actually popped up on YouTube History Today.
Oh, sweet. Okay. All right. Nice. Yeah. I mean, you've been one of the Lost Boy OGs.
Yeah.
I mean, you wrote a whole fucking piece about the circles, man, and circles too. You wrote. I forgot you used to wrote circles too.
Yes.
Circles 1 and circles 2, man. Fucking tributes to the fucking show. You've been one of the best fucking parts of our show. So
I'm glad to be part of it.
Absolutely, man. So first of all, if you want to tell us about anything new you've been working on or anything you want people to go check out or anything.
Okay. Well, honestly, I am hoping for Eras, my new book, to drop very soon. So, but I'm still tweaking. But tonight, later you'll see the cover and stuff.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
we're recording the afternoon before a night show. You're on tonight's show too.
Yes. So. Oh yeah, the latest with me, I have actually found, I think, the love of my life.
Oh, really?
Yes, that is the biggest news. That's because I have been leaving clues all over social,
like a person. You like a relationship.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Well, here it is, because what we discuss our thing. So get ready. So yes, it is my clues I have been leaving. Of course, it relates to the one and only. Say it with me.
Taylor Swift. Yeah. Oh, of course it does. Well, I mean, it's a dead giveaway with the Eras title. By the way, guys, we're gonna when I post this episode, we're gonna have a counter on each of our screens. His counter is gonna go up every time he mentions Taylor Swift, and my counter is gonna go up every time I mention Eminem, and we're gonna see once and for all who really talks about our idols the most.
Yes. Who is the real Stan? Well, the real Stan, please stand up.
Stand. I mean, I gotta put stands against Swifties any day. Mm-hmm. I'll put stands up against Swifties any day.
My question on that, right? Did you re-listen to the love song he made for MGK, Kill Shot, where he actually mentions?
Boy, did I re-listen to it? Man, when it came out, I annoyed the shit out of everybody because I wouldn't stop playing it. The fuck you mean? I probably heard it more than anybody I could quote it right now. I could spit the whole song for you.
Because it's not until the re-listen I heard him and mentioning her. I can't remember the lyric, but I was
he does mention, he compares MGK to Taylor Swift because he's basically calling him a blonde female pop star.
Mm-hmm.
He's comparing him to Taylor Swift in that way. Yeah.
And in 2024, MGK, your career is over. I haven't even listened to anything you made, and you want to say you won with Shady.
That's where I'll disagree with you. That's this is coming from me. I mean, everybody out there knows I am the biggest Eminem stan that there is. That being said, MGK is also one of my favorite artists. Period. Full stop. End of story.
Really?
Rap Devil is one of the best diss tracks ever written, and the fact that he had the balls to go up against somebody so much higher than him and so much more skilled than him. I mean, I loved Killshot and I loved Rap Devil, and I had no side in that battle. I did not pick a side.
Oh my gosh!
Because it was they were both fantastic, and lyrically, Eminem. I mean, if you're just from a lyrical standpoint, Eminem destroyed him. Way more punchlines, way more metaphors, way more disses. Bar for bar, he's saying more things. They're both 4-minute songs, but you have MGK, which has a chorus, and Rap Devil has a chorus. Killshot does not have a chorus, so it is just 4 straight minutes of bars and disses. So,
of course,
in that 4 minutes, Eminem fits in way more shit than MGK does. But I will say that Killshot is a better diss. Rap Devil's a better song. Rap Devil's has a better beat, has a better melody, and is more palatable for the average listener to listen to while they're sitting in the car or jamming out with their friends. More palatable to the ear to listen to, just jamming out than Killshot is.
Killshot.
Killshot is what it needs to be. It's a down and dirty, underground rap style diss, just straight up, to the point, in your face, down and dirty, the way Eminem grew up doing shit. That's how, if you ever seen 8 Mile, it was a straight up 8 Mile.
Oh yeah.
Right.
I actually was watching 8 Mile. When was it? Sometime this week, actually.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I mean, it's a classic. It will fucking continue to be one of the best movies. I mean, so the other thing I'll say is, Eminem definitely made the better diss. MGK made the better song. But as far as their careers are considered since then, one falsehood that people like to say is that MGK stopped rapping after he fought with Eminem, and that is not true.
Yeah,
he actually didn't. A few months after the diss battle with Eminem, he put out his most successful rap album of all time, Hotel Diablo. He put that out before he ever got into pop punk. And the last song on Hotel Diablo was a pop punk song, right? Or a punk rock or whatever. It was the last on his last rap album, letting people know that the future was going to be he's going to go and do a little bit of punk rock, but he's coming back into rap now too. So the falsehood that MGK's rap career ended after that battle it's just not true, because Hotel Diablo is his most streamed album ever, and that came out after Killshot. So
I have not even listened to.
You know what I just realized? We've had this thing that I had up. Thank you for joining. I'll be in there in a moment. We've had that up the entire fucking time. Now. But anyway, I mean that's just my take on it. Is I love them both. They're both great artists. I'm a huge fan of the early 2000s pop punk music, Blink 182 and all those guys. I'm a big fan of it.
Yeah.
So to see him bring back that music, I was a fan of it, honestly, too. So
because honestly, that my forte, early 2000s, that was music era. Now music, I'm like, okay, how half of these hits? I just don't get it, because one artist, but I don't know if you all like him, But for some reason, I cannot even listen to him as Morgan Wallen.
I mean, I know he's popping off real big in the country community right now, and I've heard a few of his songs. Because I listen to a lot of Jelly Roll.
Oh yeah,
and when you put on a Jelly Roll, or I listen to a lot of Zach Bryan too. So if you put on Zach Bryan or Jelly Roll, usually Morgan Wallen will end up coming on because of the way that the radios work on Pandora or Spotify. So I end up listening to some, but I'm not huge. I mean, I grew up on country too, not just rap and rock. My mom listened to Brad Paisley and Kenny Rogers, and like that's I grew up on country too. So, I'm not gonna say Morgan Wallen is bad country. He's he's all right.
He's meh, but I don't even. Yeah, I will. He for me is one of my next artists. So anything comes on by him, I might probably, if I start listening to it and I will not like it, just hit next.
What isn't it? Doesn't your girl have a song about that? Oh wait, maybe that's someone else. Is that Ariana?
Oh, Ariana.
No,
thank you next.
Thank you next is by Ariana, right?
Yes.
That's my okay. My bad.
That's
it's like when Morgan Wallen comes on, you're like, thank you next.
Thank you next. Yeah. So I have like that era that Ariana came out with thank you next. That will forever be her golden era. Because
go ahead.
Yeah. No, because this is how I work. As I say, I will work with song titles or song lyrics that hit me. When earlier this year there was the World Autism Day, I actually thought Ariana was coming back, because of the song Yes, and I actually liked it. So that was the name of the poem I created for persons with autism. And
what's it called?
Yes, and
yes, and that's a new song by Ariana Grande, and you
So I just I'll take the titles and make it my own. So I will.
I'm curious. What is it about? Because I haven't heard the song, but what is it about the song that made you think of, I guess, autism?
Okay, well, it's not really. It was she calling out haters in the song, right? But my version was thinking of person with any disability. You will they have their own haters because people see them as lesser beings. They will say, "Oh, they cannot do this, they cannot do that." I know a lot of persons with autism. They are way better artists than the so-called normies. They could do maths, and I hate maths. And seeing what a lot of them can do is like, wow.
Yeah. I mean, I have the same experience. Most people who I know who are on the spectrum, and I mean, for somehow, it seems like, and this is not meant to be an insult or anything, but it just seems like the spectrum keeps getting bigger and bigger. Like they keep saying that, like it keeps saying it's wider and wider. Like the spectrum used to be between here and here, but now it's between here and here. And that, I mean, that's just like it. As far as updated psychology books from the 90s versus now, the spectrum is a lot larger. But personally, my experience with people on the spectrum is that they tend to be savants. They tend to be extremely intelligent. I mean, just to the point of just like you were saying, just blowing your mind. And they tend to be like hyper, if they're not just generally geniuses. The other thing that I tend to see is I'll either see, somebody who has autism with just a genius level IQ and just great at math, great at just generally great all around the board at everything.
Yes.
And then what you'll see is the idiot savant, which is somebody who is hyper focused on one particular, but they are so good at that thing that they're basically the best. They're basically the best at that one thing. And so I have the same experience with people who tend to be on the spectrum. They just tend to be geniuses. But that actually leads me to a question I was going to ask you is, you're a teacher, correct?
Yes.
And you work with special needs students?
Yes, I do.
So, I guess what's that like? Because I've seen it. You're in Trinidad, and I don't know how much it differs. I've seen it firsthand in America. I've been a special ed student myself in America, but I guess what is that like? What is the day-to-day of special needs teacher?
Oh, okay. Well, and I have no remorse in it. We literally have to make our own shit work, because I have created this saying: we do not have an inclusive system or a mainstream system that is necessary like what America has, but we have what I call a plop system. They will put students with special needs in schools. They give teachers no resources. They give schools no resources. They expect the magic to be made and still want to insult teachers and what they do. Because I see all around the world, yes, of course, every single profession has its idiot, the one who will bring down or seem to bring down the entire system. But the ones who really trying to build the system is the one they will target to say and make the entire system look off. Because say the good one make one misstep is the worst thing, but the ones who actually doing nothing, they get a slap on the wrist. They're not even getting a slap on the wrist. They might even get a reward for doing the nonsense. And that's what I'm saying happening not only in Trinidad system with special ed, but education in general in the world, where teachers most of the time get the short end of the stick and have to make it work and just smile and say thank you.
So, how much guideline do you get? Do you see, because in America, teachers will, depending on the school, but and you're the thing that I see is, the more funded a school is versus the less funded a school is, the teachers will actually get more guidance than if it's underfunded. But teachers are given, sort of lesson plans or guidelines of like, here we call them what is it?
Okay. The scheme of work.
You need to meet certain like criteria.
Yeah, IEPs.
Right.
So what happened is in Trinidad, they do not have much special anything. We use the same curricula like every school, although the students may not be able to function. The second part of it is, the No Child Left Behind Act and IDEA from the US. That is where they will post certain things. Then they will say, well, they implement X. And to quote Eminem, poof, it's gone like Houdini.
All right. So are you expected to, make up your own lesson plans and your own worksheets?
Yes, because, and what happened is one government back in 2010 decided they came out with something. Then in 2016, when they changed, they took away a lot of the things. They changed and nothing was given. So teachers, yes, we have to work with what we have. That's why I say it's a plop system. They give it to us. We just have to make it work.
Wow. So you're really, I mean, you know, creating education and lesson plans, all this shit just out of thin air.
Yes. Yeah, because we do have a curriculum, which is our curriculum guide. And they'll say, oh, they are not mandating teachers, schools to do it. But it really causes a real issue in the system. And then a lot of people would not say they will just agree with it. And as I said, teachers are their own worst enemy.
So, what age range do you work with normally?
Okay, well, my age range currently is students 14 to 16.
Oh, Jesus. That is probably the hardest, huh?
Not really.
Early high schoolers. That's rough.
but what happened is their intellectuality is more on the range of kindergarten to probably say first grade for the most.
Okay. All right. I see.
So their age and their chronological age and their mental age, two different levels.
Okay. And so would you say, I mean, do you have any experience working with, I don't want to say regular because that seems rude.
Okay. Okay.
Well, we call them general. Working with teenagers who are not on the spectrum is what else?
Well, general education. I have not worked with that age group. Initially, I would have worked with the special ed mainly, but I work with general education at the younger age between 7 and 10, but I also work with adults.
So
regular adults.
What do you find to be the most challenging for you personally?
Well, for me personally, it will be sometimes, as I say, it will not be the student themselves, but all the adults in the situation. Because you could have some good ideas where certain parents will disagree, certain parents will agree. Then you will also find, I have a good admin, but admin in general in certain schools, that is another issue. Then there are your own peers who will try to undermine you. So, as I say, the students in certain situations are the least of the issue, but the adults will make it way harder.
That kind of makes me curious. There is now, in my experience, and I have been to special education schools and I have been to public schools. And in my experience, there is no such thing as a school without bullying. And people tend to think, you have it's usually, in the public school, the special ed kids, those are the ones who get bullied the most. Those are the so theoretically, if you put a building of kids together who are all, special ed kids who have been bullied, then why would they bully anybody? Because they all have been bullied. But that's not how. Because that's not how things work. Because people who have been bullied often become bullies, and just putting any number of kids together at that age is going to result in. So, tell me a little bit about that. Tell me a little bit about the bullying that happens.
Yeah. Okay. Well, The bullying that happens is more what I will say for my school is not because of being mean, but it's being mean, but they more of a jealousy because sometimes one who could do something may say, "Oh, I could do this, you can't do that," and they might. That is where the bullying. Oh, you can't do this. The same jokes that would have happened in a normal setting. So it will carry over. So it comes like where
So
we
they, I
even
mean, so they literally tear into each other about each
Mhm.
other's disabilities.
Yeah.
That is,
So
I mean,
yeah, as I say, it comes like in a typical office or somewhere you work, right? As they say, you might have someone who could do something, you can't do it, and they might actually think they're better than you. So I will say it carries over anywhere you go.
yeah, I mean, and that's really true in any point. I like how you said in the workplace too, because that I thought that that kind of shit, the one upping people and the ragging on people because you can do something they can or whatever. I thought all that shit would stop in high school. It doesn't. It gets worse when you get out into the
Hmm.
real world, and
Yeah.
especially in the workplace. And the more employees, the worse it is. And that's something that like I didn't necessarily expect. Going into, like, I guess you would say the real world and tax collecting
Hmm.
jobs, it is that it's a lot like high school. Um, in that it's just kind of survival of the fittest, and everybody's just, I mean, inherently, I guess we are a selfish species. Humans are selfish,
Hmm.
but I just it's crazy that we go our basically our whole lives. I mean, until maybe, I mean, I don't even know when. I think that old people, and when I say old, I just mean like retirement age. I think people in
Hmm.
that age range um, tend to be the nicest to each other. Maybe not the nicest to younger people, because I've met some pretty mean old people. I've also met some very nice old people, but I think they tend to be more just polite and cordial to each other. And I don't know if that's just the time range they were raised in when they were children, or if that's just because they've lived so much of life that they're just sick of fighting. They're just tired of it, or maybe a mixture of both.
Yeah,
Um,
I will say it's a mix because you could meet some who are like, wow, how did you
mm,
get to be that age with
mm,
that attitude?
mm. That is very true. That is very true.
Hmm. Yeah,
That's some
because
very, yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, yeah, no, because what is they always have the in psychology where they say the nurture versus nature, but in 2024, it is like that is I don't even see that as a concept because you could come from some people who are supportive and be the worst. You could come from something that was the worst and like wow the world.
I was
So
actually I was talking to my girlfriend about nurture versus nature the other day, and in the respect or the aspect of intelligence, or just what people consider to being smart, or and not just necessarily a high IQ, but that can be a high level of common sense, which I unfortunately don't have. I have a high IQ, but not a very high common sense, and I think people tend to have like one or the other, right? You
mhm,
either have a lot of common sense, or you're like really like book smart or whatever. And I kind of
mhm,
fall somewhere in between. I have a little bit of common sense, but My
You and me
question to my
both, bro.
girlfriend. My question to my yeah. My question to my girlfriend and to you now is, do you think that intelligence comes more from nature or more from nurture? More from our experiences and how we are raised, or more from our actual biological genes?
I will actually think it's experience, because what happened is your experience and my experience totally different. But you and I, simple thing, and I'm going back to one of the best lyricists ever, named Dylan Lawler, with
Thank
Girl
you.
Without a Pencil,
Okay.
because it comes literally, if
The
in
girl
that
who loaned me a
poem,
pencil.
yeah. Oh, what? Oh my gosh, yes. I don't know why I always think of the title different.
It's okay.
But yeah, but thinking about it, right? This is how we actually are, because when we in the story, it could have gone either way, because yes, he learned how to pencil, but the same shit happened. So it is your own mentals and the experience from what is going on will guide you to that nature, because this is why I will say it like this. I have had teachers I literally laugh at, because one I two
Teachers that taught
teachers,
you or your coworkers?
no, who taught me.
Okay.
So one of them is has now become a professor in a university. So we had something going on, and so this, when I was in secondary, which is your version of high school, he would watch me and say, "You know, you really think you will reach anywhere? Blah blah blah." So
That is the
this was
complete
the,
opposite of what a teacher's supposed to do. A teacher is
yeah, I know,
supposed to
right?
encourage their students to reach to heights.
No,
I mean,
this is exactly where the native versus nurture, right? So, and this is where experience and how you work with the experience will take you. So, when we had this, it was during COVID. So, of course, it's online. I do, the background graphics and stuff. So, when he was one of the main speakers there, oh, and he said, "Oh, I really love this background. Can, can I see who made it and whatever?" So the person who was in charge, the chairperson, said, "Oh yeah, sure, he's right in the Zoom room." When I put on my camera, he was so shocked. The same person you say wouldn't have it.
it was you. Oh man, that's just such a good like. There's so many times. Do you know how many people that story speaks to? Because you know how many times I've thought of teachers exactly like that and just wanted to like just find their Facebook and send them my fucking send them my show and be like, "Look, bitch, look who's got a fucking whole audience and a fucking live podcast and fucking a bunch of songs and a bunch of poems, motherfucker." Like, I mean, that is literally what especially artists, that is what every artist dreams of doing, is finding that teacher, and not even like I was saying to say fuck you or whatever, anything like that, just to show them they were wrong, just to show them that,
So,
you know what I mean, that the potential, that you had potential that they didn't fucking see. You know?
because
and there's something so powerful in showing somebody who didn't believe you had potential your accomplishments. There's something so fucking powerful in that.
Yeah, this is why, as I say, we as teachers, and I put it as a quote I created literally this week after seeing where they had a robbery and the teacher said that it was one of their former students doing the robbery. So so this is where, but it's like a twofold thing, right? Teachers either make the next lawyer or the next doctor
Or the next serial killer.
Exactly, or the next robber, the next serial killer. And this is the one, I drop it in the serial killer slash robber thing, the next politician. Because you want to say, and the politicians who rule the world, do they really rule it with a genuine love, or do they do it for the almighty dollar?
I mean, it's about money, but here's the real thing: money is relatively new. In human history, money is a new concept. Power is really what it's all about, because before money there was barter. Before money there was barter, and there was also just kings who just ruled over you and told you what the kings and queens just ruled over you and told you what to do. Right?
Of course.
When it comes down to it, it is about power. Whether it's big houses, big SUVs, money, all these things are just symbols for power. And what they've got is a monopoly on power. And that's really what it comes down to, because money, first of all, it's just paper. Second of all, our money doesn't mean shit because we're trillions of dollars in debt. America, I'm speaking about.
Yes.
Our money personally doesn't mean shit because we're trillions of dollars in debt, and it is literally worthless. It is literally worthless. But what we do have is a monopoly on power. And, a lot of that is thanks to the atom bomb, which, I mean, the creation of, it's literally, that's what's going to end the world. I mean, nuclear energy, that's it. That's huge. Humans created something that can finally wipe out their entire. It's not going to be an asteroid or a fucking. Mother Nature doesn't need to. God or Mother Nature or whatever, Zeus, whatever. They don't need to hit us with lightning bolts and fucking thunder and volcanoes and asteroids. We're going to do it to ourselves because because absolute power corrupts absolutely, and we have amassed. Such, not just this country, not just the United States, because China's got bombs, everybody's got bombs now. It's back then it was just us. Now everybody's got fucking things that can. I mean, if we all set them off at once, that's it. That's game over. That's game over. Even if 2 or 3 countries set off their biggest bombs off at once, that is game over for the entire world. That's checkmate.
Yeah, because
amassed such power that it's bound to go chaotic. It's bound to explode in our face at some point.
Yeah, of course. And this is where we will be quoting, quote unquote, 2 people, Kanye West and Tony Stark. For Kanye West is the entire song Power and We Are the New Slaves.
Be careful.
And the second one.
Be careful quoting Kanye. That your Taylor's, your Swifties are going to come after you.
No, but here is the second one, right? Do you remember in Iron Man, Age of Ultron, what was Ultron saying as a major quote, which is how the world actually runs? Keep your friends who are rich, keep your enemies rich. Then you'll see which is which.
But see, and here's the thing. the other thing I remember from the Age of Ultron movie is, how did Ultron get created? Ultron got created by Tony, and Tony's outlook was, we need to put the quote was, we need to put a suit of armor around the world. Right? Now the atom bomb was our Ultron. Right? We created this massive force for protection, but it is ultimately going to be the destruction of us all. The atom bomb is our Ultron. He created Ultron to try to save the world and ended up almost blowing the whole fucking thing up. And unfortunately, there aren't, Avengers to come save us. It's just us. Which ironically, Robert Downey Jr. And the whole cast was just nominated for a Grammy for the movie Oppenheimer, which is about the creation of atomic energy and the atom bomb. And Robert Downey Jr. actually played, I forget what the character's name is. But Robert Downey Jr. was actually in that movie too, which kind of it kind of made me think of the whole Ultron thing and his outlook on things in Ultron versus his outlook in things in Oppenheimer.
Yeah, and did you hear the statement he made when he said he's coming out as Dr. Doom? I like to
new mask, same task. New mask, same task. Can we talk? Can we talk about that for a minute? Because I am so. A lot of people don't like it. I am so happy he's coming back. First of all, and I am so happy that he's coming back as a villain. Because, and not only a villain, but that villain, because much like we were talking about, Doctor Doom is, if you read the comics and you know about Doctor Doom is essentially, his mission is to save the world. He just wants to do it by taking control of it. His mission is the same as Tony Stark's. New mask, same task. His task is still to save the world. His task is still to put a suit of armor around the world. But this time, and this goes back to the whole nature versus nurture thing, is Tony Stark could just as easily have become Doctor Doom as he could have become Iron Man. He has the same guiding principle of saving the world and by any means possible. Just slightly different nurture, slightly different upbringing, takes him down a different path. And I hope that's the way they choose to do it in the movie too. Yeah,
I'm hoping so too. But I'm talking about Robert Downey Jr. himself when he came out and he said, as an actor, I like to play the roles that are the hardest to play. Or to paraphrase him. So I will say it because we are both poets and we have to play our roles in the same way. Because
I'm a poet? I didn't even know it.
Yeah, and we're in a circle, that evolution that is a continuation of the world around us.
Yeah.
From zombies to vampires, from Kanye's to Taylors.
I can't believe you just did in the same sentence you put zombies and vampires with Kanye's and Taylor.
Oh yes.
Oh man. I'm clipping that. That's gonna be a clip. That's the
okay. Let's do it. And like Stan, we gotta be Houdinis. Because no matter what, abracadabra, we're gonna reach in our bag, bro.
No, maybe you should. Yeah, I think you've mentioned Eminem more than I have this episode, and I've mentioned Taylor more than you have. Maybe I should switch the fucking. Gosh. Shit. Oh man, people, I've never addressed this on the show before, but I and nobody's ever asked me either, but like it must look really weird when I clap like this.
No, excuse me.
The reason I'm doing it, so this is a deep cut. We'll go. The reason I'm doing it is because this will hurt people's fucking ears if I do it right in the mic. It's gonna fucking blow people's eardrums out. It's a pretty good mic, so I have to clap kind of like I'm dancing.
No.
You all the brain dance. All I need is a stretcher in an ambulance.
That's why we snapped.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I never know what to do too either, because like, on my show I have people doing poetry, which typically you snap for, but then you got the books and the artwork and my buddy playing guitar and my other buddy rapping, multiple people we have on here rapping. So like, do you clap for that? Do you snap for, you know what I mean? It's a little weird to snap after someone just hits you with 32 bars of curse words to just go, you know what I mean?
Well, this is it. We are modern idiots, okay? Yeah, but I have a very deep question for you. Sure. In the way we're doing it, right? Because we are poets. So, how do we and the words we put out there affect our society? Or how do you think we can affect what is going on to not only, because a lot of celebrities, they do it for the fame, they do it for the money, but how we as simple poets, you think we could actually reach for a change or a transformation, because change gets lost in the sofa?
Yeah, I do. I think I have to believe that. I mean, to do what I do, I have to believe that. Whether I have 50 subscribers, 100 subscribers, I think we're at 121 now. Whatever the case may be, it's always going to be all the way up to 10 billion. The mission is always going to be the same. And I think that to keep pushing, you can't do something you don't believe in, right? And that's the mission, is to always be affecting change in the world. To use our I think we are, and I've talked about this multiple times in the last couple of shows, is we are the purveyors of history, from stories to songs to poems to artwork, artists to music. Those are the things that have carried history. I mean, what is the Bible if not a collection of stories? Songs, fucking plays, songs, stories. I mean, and poetry, which is just song without melody. It has been the bedrock of human society forever, since ancient times. How do we know about ancient Egypt? From art that they made, from hieroglyphs, from tablets, from pyramids. These are all works of art. The only way, how do we know about Jesus and his apostles? From the stories, from the paintings, how do we know about cavemen or the ice age, or any of this shit? From paintings, from stories, from songs. That's the only way history will be able to carry itself. So we are the most important people in all of creation. Artists, I firmly believe that, are the most important.
Because I'm going to bring it back to part of our original discussion, because and I'm glad how you talk about the cave paintings and everything, because I don't know if you have saw this meme, and it is a meme that hits home now, because a lot of oral traditions is dying. But as they say, we are the new cavemen, because original cavemen used to write on walls. We are writing on walls. Virtual walls, but walls.
So do you think they're gonna find the Lost Boys channel in like 2,000 years and be like,
Oh,
I wonder what kind of things that they're gonna draw from our culture based on the stuff that we make now. Like you see a lot of music now, it's just talking about guns and drugs and like a lot of drinking lean and popping Xanax. Are in 2,000 years or 200 years or whatever, are people gonna think that like everybody was just walking around drinking lean and popping Xanax? You know what I mean? Because
no, I'm gonna win this one now. No, not if you listen to a Taylor Swift album, then you might just be drinking wine.
Oh shit. Well, I mean, if you go and listen to an Eminem album, ding. If you go and listen to an Eminem album, well, it really depends what album you listen to, right? You listen to his earlier shit, you might be popping pills, but you listen to his later shit. I mean, I mentioned this one song, and it was by, it's called, I think Lace It. Yeah, I think it's called Lace It, but it's not MGK, Eminem and Juice WRLD. And Juice WRLD recorded the song before he passed, or his part of the song before he passed. I think you might have heard it, yeah. I and Eminem, and it is a song about not doing drugs. It's a song about being careful. Like the last line of the song, Eminem says, oh man, it's very rare. I can't remember the exact wording. Basically, he's I'm not here to lecture you. Just be careful when you. And then Juice WRLD comes in, roll it up, lace it, pop a few to chase it, and it's a song from two people, one who passed away from drugs and one who almost passed away from drugs, and spent the last 20 years trying to get sober. It is a song about two people who have the most experience doing those kind of things, Xanax and lean or whatever, showing people and showing the kids, more importantly, that it's not all it's cracked up to be. I mean, it's literally, he says, synthetic heroin, you tried to kill me, then you went and murdered Jared, didn't you? Jared is Juice WRLD's real name. And he lists off quite a few people in that song that have died from opioid or other drug related incidents. And it was just crazy to see a full circle moment of, two people who, got a lot of their fame from talking about drugs. I mean, 90%, if not more, 95% of all Juice WRLD and Eminem songs reference drug use, reference them taking drugs in explicit ways. All of them, Juice WRLD and Eminem. So it was a really great moment to see this song warning kids against drugs from two people who have built their careers on consuming them and talking about consuming them. And a lot of people might see them as like, oh yeah, that makes them a hypocrite. Well, no, yeah, maybe they're hypocritical, but it's like kind of the do as I say, not as I do.
Do exactly.
Be better than me. Be better. And it was a really great moment to see them come full circle and just show people and tell people, be better. And Eminem, more than anything, to show people, look at the level of skill and things you can achieve even when you're not on. Look at all the shit I did when I was on drugs. Amazing, right? Like he did great, amazing things when he was on drugs, but then he's done just as much amazing things in the times that he's been sober. Since he's been sober, he's topped just as many charts, got just as many awards in the time that he's been sober, and his lyrical ability has grown tenfold. I mean, he undoubtedly he's a better lyricist now than he was back then. He just is. It comes with experience, but it also comes with, having a clear head and not being, and I know I say this as I've been smoking a bit of weed during this episode, but it's not weed I'm talking about. It's Xanax, it's morphine, it's the drugs that are gonna ruin your fucking life, and it was just a great moment to see them come back around and say, listen, these will ruin your life. Don't let them.
Yeah, because what happened is there was this artist. He is known as the godfather of soca, Lord Shorty Eye, Ras Shorty Eye, however they call him. And he literally was on the same standard like Eminem and Juice WRLD and a lot of these artists, where he literally was on heavy substance. And then he came out, and this was like one of the songs called Watch Out My Children, where he talk about what happens because of drugs and how the devil will cause you to do that. But I actually, because Midnights, would you believe one of the person who was shouting it, they are, because I created my
Midnight's out on Amazon now. Go check it out.
Yeah, background.
That's the book cover. All right, sorry, go on.
So and then I created my own Watch Out My Children, and that one actually hit on not only the drugs, but it have a little political thing, because as I don't know, I just cannot stand the politicians, because they literally put up smoke screens, they do puffery, they have their followers who will follow them, and then when as I say, and I'm going to make my R-rated joke here. So Dylan, why is religion and politics like oral sex and anal sex?
I don't know why.
Because one wants to force something down your throat and the other one gives you a ass.
And we have another clip. You're giving me extremely clippable moments here. This is great. Why is religion and politics like oral and anal sex? Because one wants to shove it down your throat and one gives it to you in the ass. Oh man, yeah, you're right. I couldn't have said it better myself. I don't.
Thank you. I'll be here on the show tonight.
Yes. Oh my God. Well, I can't top that. I can't top that. So, I mean, if there's any other questions you'd like to ask me, if you had any questions you had for me.
Yes, I have a couple that I did. Let's see. Mr. Lawler, what is one of your favorite poems you have written, and why?
Well, two of the obvious answers that come to my mind are obviously The Girl Who Loaned Me a Pencil and Speaking to Demons. The Girl Who Loaned Me a Pencil is my favorite spoken word or story form poem I've written, because, well, the first thing I think is because it speaks to such a broad, everybody's been bullied, and everybody has, whether you want to admit it or not, you've been a bully at some point in your life. The third thing, and you have also watched somebody be bullied and not done anything about it. Now don't get me wrong, I have watched somebody get bullied plenty of times and done something about it, but whether we want to admit it or not, we've all experienced those three things. We've been bullied, we've bullied, and we've watched somebody get bullied. and it speaks to all three of those things, and I think those things are such a core. Like, I mean, we started talking about the nature versus nature versus nurture thing earlier. You brought up this poem, and and I think that it speaks to one of the most trying things that we have, that we deal with in this world, and that's bullying, and how it affects our mental health, and how it leads to depression and suicidal thoughts and homicidal thoughts. And I took a big swing there at the end of that poem, regarding gun laws. I think I said something to the effect of treat AR-15 like it's the name of the common cold, or some parasite. And then I go into listing. So because when school shootings happen, right, a lot of people go right to blaming the guns. And it's everybody up in arms about, oh, we gotta fucking cut down on gun laws and tighten this up and that, and then so it was basically me saying, the guns aren't the fucking problem. Spoons don't eat food, people eat food. Guns don't kill people, people kill people. And so there was that political aspect of it, but really what it came down to was showing, and there was the part 2 of Man Behind the Mask, where I took a shot at the coronavirus. Actually, the line about corona and the line about the AR-15 are both saying the same things, in the sense of we're focusing on the wrong things. We're focusing,
of course,
we're focusing on the guns, when we should be focusing on the kids and how they're treating each other and what they're going through in their everyday lives. And
as I said before, and I'll say it again, the adult in this situation is a problem, because adults, and I'm going to bring it into education.
To a certain extent.
Because if you look at, there is something in education called the hidden curriculum. And that curriculum is worth more than anything written on paper, because that one speaks to your actions versus what you're saying by words, but the students and children in general will see you behave in a certain way, but then telling them don't. So why is it you could act or say something like that, because it goes back to the juice and M&M. Why is it we could actually, you could tell us don't do it, but you doing it, and better yet, you doing it worse than us. So
yeah, and you're right. I think that the parents and the teachers are a lot to blame, not for the actions of the child, but for the emotions that cause the actions,
exactly.
And it's like I said, that whole nature versus nurture thing. And a lot of it becomes, what type of outlet does that child have, right? Because everybody's going to go through their own brand of trauma as a child, whatever it is, some more than others, some more traumatic things than others, but everybody's going to deal with their own trauma and their own set of problems. And it comes down to, I think, an outlet. And I think I have this one poem that I wrote that's relating to the girl who loaned me a pencil, and I'll probably never release it. Just because I'm not sure about it, and it's from a weird perspective. Let's just say that. I'm going to have some weird lines in it that are borderline horrorcore, but a line that I do say, the last line of that piece that I'm not going to release is, this is not another story that is dark and suspenseful. This is me reaching out a hand and just trying to help you. This is what you do when someone hands you a pencil. And it really comes down to like Eminem. Eminem, for example, right? Could have just as easily become a serial killer or a druggie, or I mean he was a druggie, but like just a heroin addict who died in a street gutter or whatever. Like just as easily could have become that. And but I mean it was, and he says it all the time, it was Dre and Jimmy Iovine taking his tape to Dre that saved his life. And it's that one little action, like going back to Marvel, in Marvel, how they have those alternate realities, and how, like I was saying earlier, Robert Downey Jr. could just as easily become Doctor Doom by one little action, just a butterfly effect. Have you ever seen that movie, The Butterfly Effect?
Of course.
Yeah. Just one tweak, one little thing, and a world famous artist could be a serial killer. You know what I mean?
Because
or a drug or whatever. So I was gonna say is that the point of that piece that I have written but have not released to the public is that the person writing this, the person who watched this girl commit suicide and kill all these people in the school, could have just as easily, I keep saying easily, adding an extra V, could have just as easily been that person, could have just as easily been the suicidal, homicidal maniac. But instead, they chose to pick up a pencil and use that energy, that passion, that angst, that torture inside them to write instead, to make a piece of art.
Exactly.
Just that one little tweak, any good guy is, and you've heard me talk often, probably on the show, about how the Joker is one of my favorite characters.
Mine too.
And do you know the Joker's motto? It's his motto, and you find this out in a comic series and a movie that they turned it into a movie, and it's called either, is it in The Long Halloween or The Killing Joke? It's in either The Long Halloween or The Killing Joke. I'm not sure. They're both comic series that got turned into movies. But the Joker has a motto that he says, and it's, all it takes is one bad day. Because before the Joker became the Joker, he was just a normal dude. And I guess canonically, in the comics, it took one bad day to break him and make him that insane. And he tried, and throughout, I think it's The Killing Joke. Throughout The Killing Joke, he tries to prove to Batman that all it takes is one bad day to drive somebody over the edge and make them insane. The only difference between Batman and Joker is, really, that is their image and their outlet, how they chose to, because make no mistake, Batman and the Joker are both insane. And one bad day, just like with Batman, one bad day is what turned him into Batman.
Exactly.
And that's what the Joker is trying to get through to somebody is through the Batman, is that all it takes for somebody is one little thing, or one, something, and like I said, a world famous artist could become a serial killer. A mad clown could become a superhero.
Because as we all know, and I am going to say props to Lost Boys Disciples Circle, because artists today have their place, because it's hard, and you know it, to actually find somewhere that will invite you. It is so nice to say this. Well, my girlfriend is the one who saw you and saying, you and Delana are like brothers from another mother, because the way we interact is like you way in the US, I'm in Trinidad, and we could find each other words to something with it will bind us together like real soul poetic brothers. And it's only when we release now started today, that was one of the first things she said to me. And that was right after the last show.
That's awesome, man. You are like the most supportive of everything I do. You are like the Lost Boy fucking #1 fan. Me and my friend Brandon, we actually have the Brandon, the fucking producer for the show. So me and Brandon actually have this joke, right? And he was telling me one day, he was like, dude, everything, I think it was shortly after you wrote the first Circles piece, he's like, everything that dude is just cheering for. You could make a bunch of sandwiches, and he would be like, Dylan, we love your sandwiches.
No, because if we don't support each other,
right? But I mean, thank you so much. It makes me feel so good that like I could, like any step I take, I know that I'm gonna have support in it. Whether it's making a live podcast or making sandwiches.
Oh wait, no. You and I need to talk, because remember, on the final show, aka, or was it first season 2? What we said, we need to
do our advertising. We're just gonna not mention that. Cut that out.
No. Here's what. No. So when are we really going to get our what was it? Where we all listen to the music and stuff, and we have our reaction videos to do the new stuff.
Oh shit. Lost Boys reaction videos. All right, well, since this is a deep cuts episode, I've been thinking about it a little bit. And I'm not sure how I'm gonna do it, right? Because part of me wants to, maybe I can put out solo videos of me reacting to things, but that's not as fun as reacting things with other people, right? So part of me wants to do it like we do the show, but instead of our pieces, we just react to songs or stuff like that.
Yeah, no, because simple thing, because I was saying, here is well, I'll hit up Taylor, you hit up Emma, and let's see if they'll allow us to critique TTPD and
Ultimate Guest. Oh man, I gotta tell you, man, the Tortured Poets department, it didn't stand a chance. It didn't. I'm sorry. It just didn't stand a chance. And Eminem went, and I've been waiting to say this to you on the air. Eminem let Taylor sit on the throne just to warm up his seat.
For 2 weeks.
He let her sit on the throne for a couple of years to warm up his seat while he was making his album. So the throne was warm for him when he went to sit down.
Wait. And can you tell me which album dethroned Coup de Grace again?
I don't think there has. I don't. We'd have to check. We'd have to check the stats on that one, but I'm pretty sure it's still number one.
Wait. Here's it. Or which album not only took back the number one place
as of the time of recording? Well, actually, tell us in the comments. Go ahead, tell us in the comments right now as you're watching this. And this is going to get posted after, but as you're watching this, go look it up. What has more album sales and streams, The Death of Slim Shady, Coup de Grace, or the Tortured Poets Department? You tell us in the comments. Let us know. It'll be a little game. We'll get the Swifties in the stand just fucking fighting each other. It'll be great. It'll be great.
yeah. But
But
what?
all the Swifties are just going to end up in the stands trunks on the way to the fucking river. So what do you think you're doing here, man? What do you?
No, I have the perfect.
Don't quote me.
Let me tell you, the perfect collab, right? Taylor sings Dido verses on Stan.
No, 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 nope, nope, nope. I'm shutting it down. I'm shutting it down right now. I'm shutting it down. We're not doing that. We're not doing it. We're not doing it. We're not doing it. No. I will boycott. I will boycott that song. No, that's not happening. That's not happening. We're not getting.
Oh,
I mean, I don't know. I think that they're too different, you know? They're too and I don't know. I guess they could they may be speaking realistically though on some real shit. They are both great artists and they, if they chose to make something together, I'm sure it would be a fantastic song. I'm sure it would. I mean, they're both two of the best artists in their genre. You know what I mean? So yeah. But I just think that I don't know if their political or moral views would vibe well with each other in the same room, and I don't know if they would get along well with each other. Maybe they would. I'm not sure. Honestly, we don't. Here's the thing, and I was trying, and I was listening to a podcast the other day with two guys from the Impractical Jokers, Sal and Q. I don't know if you ever seen that show. Do they have that show in your country?
Can I say this way? Through VPN, I would actually watch it. But I'll have to use a VPN to look at it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, I was watching it, and they had one of the singers from NSYNC. I believe it was.
Was it I think was it Joey or was it Chris?
Yeah, no, Joey Fatone. It was Joey Fatone.
Yes.
Yeah. So they had Joey Fatone, and I mean, at a certain time, in the '90s, they were, the biggest thing. You know what I mean? They've been all the way to the top, seen it all, and come back down.
I have to drop this one here. Yes. You mean Bye 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 as seen in Wolverine and Deadpool? Deadpool and Wolverine?
Oh, man. He's it's getting Bye 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 is getting a resurgence. We're getting a resurgence in pop culture now. But no, and this podcast is actually from a while back, but he was saying how a lot of people think they know celebrities. And they'll come up to them and talk to them like they know them personally. But at the end of the day, you got to realize you don't actually know these people. They show you as much as they want to show you. And that's it. And the same goes for anybody, whether it be, a celebrity or, a talk show host or whatever. But I think there's different levels of it, because the thing that Joey Fatone was saying to Sal and Q, who do the Impractical Jokers, is your fans, and he was saying this to them, the Impractical Jokers fans know them better and connect with them more on a personal level because they are just themselves on the show. They're just four guys hanging out, joking around with each other. That's the point of the show. Is it's four high school friends playing jokes on people. And so you really get more of this familiarity, like you connect with them. And I think what makes an artist, at the end of the day, one of the things I look for in an artist the most is, aside from stage presence or flow or lyrical ability or melody or any of those things with an artist, is your ability to connect with the people. And that's why, going back to what we said earlier in the thing, no matter how many streams or followers I have, that's the mission will always be the same, and I will always be this accessible to you guys. I will, no matter how big I get, that is my promise. I will always be as accessible now, emotionally, maybe not physically, like being able to answer every single text, but emotionally, I will be as accessible and open to you guys as ever, no matter how big I get. And because and I think that's something that maybe both Eminem and Taylor have lost a bit, getting as big as they are, is their down to earthness and their ability to connect with the everyday working man, or woman. What do you think about that? Have they lost their down to earthness, their ability to?
I think, in a way, and I will say it for both, they haven't really lost it that much, but what I am seeing causing it is, they're over too much of fans who, even in their private moments, overstep. So they have to build that wall. Okay, yes, I'm a celebrity, but I'm a fucking human also.
Right.
So
exactly.
stay the fuck away when I want my alone time. Because if you and I become that famous one day, I am sure we will be the same way, and they will want to look at us and say, "Oh, they forgot where they were." Blah blah blah. No,
I won't sign your autograph. You can call me an asshole. I'm glad because I am whatever you say I am. If I wasn't, why would I say I am? Exactly. No matter, and I mean, he wasn't even at the highest level of fame that he's at now. But even back when he made that song, it was I when I'm eating or feeding my daughter, and you freeze come and speak, like it's like when you freeze come and speak to me, I'm eating and feeding my daughter, like I'm a fucking human being. And that's the thing a lot of people don't realize is these artists, as their performance persona, but you don't know them as people, and you don't have no right to insert yourself into their fucking personal life as if you do.
No, because
what makes you're right. That's what makes them so closed off too.
Yeah, because as I say, you see what TikTok, Insta, Facebook, YouTube have done to a lot of people. I always say my favorite social artists, because a lot of them so fake. I would rather watch all the pet videos and be a fan of those dogs, cats, squirrels, whatever animal over the humans, because you all putting up a fake persona, like if you all got something and not keeping it real and want people to fall for you.
Dogs, cats, animals are pure. They only, they are very focused. They're focused on eating, sleeping, and then just basic love and affection. That's all they want. And that's all we want too. That's all what we want too. But here's the thing is we're all so starved. We're also hungry for attention and to be loved and whatnot, that we end up putting on this fake facade for everyone, try to get them to like us, which ends up just creating a barrier between you and the people you're trying to get to love you, and that you're trying to show affection to in return. The only way to experience true love, and then whether that's between a brother and another brother, or a girlfriend and a boyfriend, or a boyfriend and a boyfriend, or a girlfriend and a girlfriend, I want to be inclusive here, is through letting those walls down that you're talking about. Is letting people see through that facade.
And then sometimes too, and I'm sure it will happen to you, because you don't want the other person see, because you think it will hurt them more if they see a part of you don't want them to see, because not because you're thinking it will hurt you, but it will hurt them to know something.
Yeah, and I think that's the same in any relationship, though, whether it be a romantic one or like I was saying, just it's the same in any relationship. And I think that what it comes down to is finding the people that you are okay being yourself around, and basically telling everyone else to go fuck themselves, and not just walk in. And don't get me wrong, I used to walk around. I used to take it literally and think that meant literally walk around telling people to go fuck themselves, but that's not really what I mean. I mean, in your head, my mom used to say, there are people that matter and there are people that don't. And the best thing about life is you get to decide who those people are. And the people that don't matter can't hurt you because you don't let them, because they don't fucking matter. And it's really about deciding who matters to you and who doesn't. And, it doesn't mean you just have, in my personal life, I like to have a close group of friends. I like to keep my circle small, but obviously I have the Lost Boys Cypher Circle where I've built this community and this family, and I am just invested in you guys as I am any of my other friends. And it's about prioritizing. I sit my ass in this chair and I fucking do this show every single week because I decided that it's important to me. And that's the other thing too, is the important things get your energy and the unimportant things get none of it. Therefore, you're able to conserve more energy by not wasting it on people and things that don't fucking matter. So really, it comes down to figuring out who matters and what matters to you. And I think that's what a lot of, going back to the celebrity thing, that's what a lot of celebrities do, is they just, they have their inner circle and they have, their fans, and those are the people that they decide have meaning to them, right? Like Eminem, I mean, shit, he made that song Temporary. I cry, and this is an honest moment, straight up honest moment. I cry almost every single fucking time I listen to it. Almost every single fucking time. Whether I'm with people or I fucking start tearing up almost every single time I hear that song. And that is one of the most deep emotional songs that he's made. And I think that, and I was listening, it's weird because though they are rivals, MGK and Eminem have so much alike, not just in their career, but in their emotional life and their journey with drugs and addiction and all this stuff. But they, MGK said something similar to the effect of, I'm not very good in interviews. And he did this on a podcast that you have to pay for, so it's not really like an interview. It's like a go check it out, Bunny XO, the Dumb Blonde podcast. That's Jelly Roll's wife.
Okay.
She has a podcast and she had MGK on it after him and MGK made the new song Lonely Road, which you should also go check out. Shout out Bunny, shout out Jelly Roll, shout out MGK. But on this new thing, this new podcast that came out, he was like, I'm not very good in interviews. I speak my truth in my songs. That's how and I'm paraphrasing here, and Eminem has always been much the same way. And I think artists and I think I gravitate to those types of artists. That's why they're, is artists who are kind of awkward, kind of not very well spoken in person, but can speak a million words in their verses,
Of course, yeah.
And I say this all the time, I'm not a host. Hosting a podcast is not my comfort level. It's not where I find myself comfortable. But it's something that I decided to do because I wanted to kind of you build a community and be part of a community that whose mission is to spread love and joy and artistic inspiration, and kind of, in a sense, save humanity with it. That's kind of the mission here is
and speak your truth.
Right, speak your truth and help others speak theirs. That's the mission. And I think that, like I said, no matter how big I get, that's always going to be the mission. I think that with celebrities, I gravitate towards the ones who, even at that level, are still able to speak their truths in their songs. That's why, like I said, MGK and both MGK and Eminem are always going to be two of my favorite artists, because at their core, before all of the beefs, before all of even the record labels and the money and all this shit, before they were even showed anybody their first piece of work or rap battled anybody or freestyled in front of anybody, it was their their poetry, their songwriting, their art form that was a therapy for them. That's what it was, and those are the type of artists that I think make the biggest impact.
True.
They rag on Taylor a lot because she makes a lot of breakup songs. Well, the bitch has gotten her heart broken a lot. I mean,
but
she's just writing her truth, and I get that.
Wait. Did you just give me a ding? Because I was now going to say something about T, okay? And so I'm taking my ding, Taylor Swift. Yeah, because I have realized, because I was actually listening to Thank You, Amy, right? And, the feud between she, Taylor, Kanye, Kim. And when she say, first she will say, fuck you, Amy. And then in the end, she come back to talk about the haters. And without haters like that, it wouldn't have driven me to say thank you, Amy, because without you, it wouldn't have driven me. And when I listen to her and thinking about my personal life, but what I am thinking, one connection, because as I say, I see Taylor like a sister who I never met, because one of the major things I just realized what helped me connect was when she brought out the song Marjorie. And that is the same name of my mom. So when she talked about the scraps of you will be taken away from me, that is literally how I felt. And then listening to, I think one of the albums what she made, and it's the most annoying album for me, was Lover. But one of the songs that will, like how you say, temporary, will have you no matter what. Want to cry? There's one song on that album that hits too close, soon you'll get better, because that was written about her mom going through her cancer. My mom died of cancer. So that just digs different. I will try to avoid listening to that song.
Yeah. There's a few songs like that, and that's, like I said before, that's what makes a truly good artist, is their ability to use their pain and create something not only beautiful and amazing, but something that makes you feel their pain on that deep of a level. And it's not just pain, it could be any emotion, but when an artist is really able to take you into their world and, make you relate to what they're saying.
Nice.
Really, you know, it's a whole different feeling, you know, and that's, I mean, for me, that's partly what takes me, why it takes me longer to write a song than I would like, because I am constantly faced with this thing where it needs to be, you know, it needs to have as much soul as possible, and you know, also a perfectionist too. But you know, I with every song, I'm just, you know, it's not going out, whether however lyrically good it is, if it doesn't have my fucking soul, my passion, my little quirks in it, you know, it's just, it's not a song that I feel comfortable showing people, you know.
No, because
gotta have.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because I could match that, because I have killed too much book ideas. Like when we were talking before, I wanted to bring out a book called Karma already. Halfway through the book, I just started to hate my own work and I just deleted it.
Oh,
So,
yeah, I think you told me about this at one point on one of the shows.
So this is where the mental health and actually reaching out like this will actually give other artists the motivation, because you might be hating yourself, but it's the encouragement of your peers you need. Because as you know,
Absolutely.
I will always try to bring something different. Slim is to you as Taylor is to me, because she is singing things that literally speaking to what happened in my life, and I'm like, Taylor, get out my fucking head. But it just keeps going, because, as I said, when I didn't even realize
she related. Did you have a boy in high school who was dating head cheerleader, and while you were on the bleachers?
No.
Sorry, you said that she did a lot of what she had been through related to you. I don't.
No. I'm talking about like the titles. You know how I work with the titles, right? I literally, like, one of the first pieces I ever wrote was actually titled "All Too Well." I was only going back into a certain thing. Then I say, wait, when the fuck did I write All Too Well? And why does Taylor Swift song All Too Well?
I don't think I have ever told you my favorite Taylor Swift song.
So deep cuts, you're gonna get.
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay, maybe I don't, because don't get me wrong, I might give you a lot of shit. And I'm not the biggest fan of her newer music. I am a fan of the older eras. My mom listened to a lot of Taylor Swift growing up. But you know, so I'm from the era of Fairy Tale and Romeo and Juliet, and like I'm you know what I mean. That's my favorite era of Taylor Swift.
Okay,
now,
so
one of my favorite songs that I think she ever made was it's a song called "Our Song," and basically the story for those people who don't know it is she's in the car with her boyfriend, and she asks him how come that they don't have a song, because most couples have a song. And he replies with the chorus of the song, which is, it's like
our song is
the slam the screen doors, sneaking out, knocking on your window. Basically, she's saying that their song is the sounds of their life together. You know, the little moments, the tap on the slamming the screen door, the tap on the window, the little tiny moments that make up their relationship and their love. And it was such a poetic fucking song. And I think it still holds up today. Like, it's just one of the greatest songs she's ever written. So poetic and just so like.
What do you believe?
In essence, what love is to me. Love is all those little things. You know, it's the way she, bites her lip when she's concentrating. It's the way she fucking yells at people in traffic. It's those little.
In other words, Dylan is a debut Swiftie. I honestly started to like Taylor. There's like in 1989, I like some of the songs, not all. Reputation is life, Evermore is life, Midnight is life, and Torture Poets Department is life. The others are meh.
You sound like a teenage girl. Oh my god, that album is life.
Oh my! No.
Life. Right now, honestly, I feel the same way about the death of Slim Shady. Ding 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 ding. No, it's just me, like every once in a while, an artist comes out with an album that I refer to as the album. Whenever I speak to my friends or colleagues or whatever about it, it'll be the album, because that's the album that's like my life. That's my life right now. That's the like when an album like that comes out, it's pretty much all I listen to it over and over and over again, and I just don't get sick of it. And some albums that I'll name, when Music to Be Murdered By came out, me and my buddy Devin, shout out Devin Lavoie, one of my best friends, probably my best friend of all time, actually. My best friend of all time, Devin Lavoie. We were roommates for a while. We used to sit in the car for hours and just listen to Music to Be Murdered By over and over again. And it was like the album. And to me, like when an artist comes out with an album that you don't mind listening to that many times, and it's like, this is almost perfect front to back, like every single song, and there's not a single thank you next. There's not a single that's a callback. There's not a single skip, there's not a single thank you next in the album. It really speaks to their ability as an artist. You know what I mean? It's like not many people can make what I consider a perfect album.
Would you believe one of my I'll say the two of my albums that even before Taylor Swift became my go-to, two albums I would always go back to would be her rival, Kanye West, College Dropout and Graduation.
Oh man. Oh shit. You know what though? People, something I was just thinking about. People are gonna get mad this episode because we are both two people who have a lot to say, right? We're both people who have ADHD, so we tend to sometimes talk. Like I'll talk over you, and then you'll talk over me, and we'll go back and forth, right? But it's kind of like when Kanye grabbed the mic out of Taylor Swift's hand and went, "Bitch, I'm gonna let you finish in a minute."
Yay! So you see, yeah, because this is why we go so well together.
The Kanye, hey, there. You know what? There's fucking zombies and vampires. There's Kanyes and Taylors, and there's Onos and Dylans. There's certain types of people in this world, and you're either one or the other.
And as since you were, I think this was on the debut, also Place in This World. Yeah. Since you're a debut Swiftie, so
I don't know if I heard that one. I'd have to hear it again.
Yeah. I can't remember. I can't remember if it's on the debut or if it was on Fearless. It's one of those albums, the earlier albums.
I also think there's a lot to be said from her you know, especially with everything that happened to her in the industry, there's a lot to be said for her debut album being arguably until maybe recently. I haven't heard most of her recent shit, but maybe I think her earliest and her newest shit are her purest work. And I will speak to her earliest shit because I haven't listened and I can't really speak to her new shit. But I will speak to her earliest shit because it is one of her most purest bodies of work because it's before she was controlled by what is it, Big Machine? Before Big Machine had such a big hold of her, and she was really writing from her heart and writing these pure songs. And then you notice she kind of got more and more poppy and more and less lyrical, less heartfelt, and more poppy as things went on. And that's
and then from Folklore Evermore, she actually gone back to relatability, because I don't know if you saw, because I saw this bit of a Jay-Z interview where the question he was asked, would you rather have dinner with Jay-Z or would you rather get $3,000?
It's hard to answer that question because is Jay-Z, because I don't know Jay-Z, is Jay-Z the type of person who's going to, because some people are very hear me out. Some people are very coveted with their knowledge. You know, they don't like to share the things that made them so successful because they don't want anybody to be as successful as them. Would Jay-Z be one of those type of people, or would he be one of the people who would sit there and share his knowledge with me and I'd be able to soak up? Because he's a very smart guy and he's a very successful guy. So
you want to know what
trade Jay-Z's knowledge for $3,000. But if he's gonna sit there and just talk about the fucking weather while we have dinner, then I want the $3,000.
No. You know what was his answer? Idiot, take the 3,000, because if you really want, listen to every single one of my albums closely, and it tells you exactly what's going on and what I did. I listening to Taylor Swift, like she has this one, It's Time to Go, where you're talking about the realities of, like, you're seeing people who get in promotion who don't deserve it. You know, that when
there's something I want to touch on there, and you know, and I'm not, maybe this might make people mad, especially the feminists. This is going to make the feminists mad. But do you feel now, in every other industry, almost every other industry, it is harder for a woman than a man to succeed? But do you feel, the question is, do you feel as though in the music industry it might possibly be the other way around? And here's the example I'm going to give. And I'm going to quote a comedian, and I believe, I don't want to say, it might be Bill Burr, but I could be completely fucking wrong. I'm not sure. It could be, honestly, it could be Chappelle. I don't remember, but a comedian said, if Beyonce was not rich and nobody knew who Beyonce was, and she was working at Burger King, and Jay-Z was where he is and super rich and famous, right? She could still pull Jay-Z because of her looks, because of how hot she is. She could still pull is a slang term for young slang term for those of you who don't know, for pickup or, you know,
hook up.
Right, hook up with. Beyonce could still hook up with Jay-Z if she was working at Burger King, but it doesn't work the other way around. If Jay-Z was working at Burger King, there ain't no way he's pulling Beyonce. You know what I mean? So do you think that, going back to Eminem and Taylor, and don't get me wrong, I guess, I mean, Eminem's probably not a good example because Eminem is an attractive dude, and from the get-go, he was in good shape, he talks about his cute dimples and his blue eyes and whatnot. Shady knew Shady's dimples would help maybe make ladies swoon, baby. Ooh, baby, look at myself. He knew that his attractiveness is also what's gonna get him farther. That if he was ugly and this good at rapping, he wouldn't get quite as far. Do you think that contributed to Taylor's success at all because she is so attractive?
Yeah, because if you look at what they say, Taylor is the innocent, down to earth girl next door. So they're trying to. This is what they say, pulling a lot of people, like who going to Taylor on looks. Definitely, that will pull people.
Definitely.
But if you, as I say, I even like when I'm looking at movies, there are two ways I will either listen, because as I say, I could diss Taylor, like, because it has some annoying songs that is skippable, but then it have the ones that, okay, this is going on in my life.
My favorite thing about Eminem, my favorite thing about Eminem is that he makes fun of, when he knows that he makes shitty songs sometimes and he makes fun of them. He has a one line recently where he goes, I don't care if you hate me worse than each track on Revival, which is a whole album that he made that people say it flopped, but it still went diamond. So again, go fuck yourself.
Whatever.
But no, so I think that, so like Eminem, he that interview that he put out with himself, the AI Slim Shady.
Oh yeah. That sucks.
He was like, he was like, you made Fack one of the worst songs ever. Not only did you make it one of the worst songs ever, but you put it on a greatest hits album. Not only did you put it on the greatest hits album, but you put it as the first song on the greatest hits album. I mean, he fully admits Fack is it's a bad song. It's just it's funny as fuck. But that's what makes it a good song, is that it's so bad that it's good.
And I'm going to say this. I love that song.
Me too. I love in the new interview where he was like, if you had called it Richard Gere like I said to call it, we would have gone triple platinum. And he's like, first of all, I couldn't have called it Richard Gere because we would have gotten sued. Fun of myself and my own flaws, and I love when an artist is able to do that, and I kind of take that from Eminem. I definitely do. Ding.
No. And I'm gonna ding this one. Yeah, and that is why if you listen to Blank Space, ding, Taylor Swift actually pokes fun of herself in that.
Man, I'm drawing a blank space every time I forget my fucking. It's a blank space, baby. And I'll write your name, all right? Once I remember it, I'll fucking write your name. It's a blank space.
Yeah. You sure you can remember to write your own name? My name is what?
Listen, man, we got a show in 3.5 hours now, and I'm barely holding on here.
Well, I think this deserves part 2. So
absolutely, we will get you back on for Deep Cuts part 2 with Uno. Hell yeah, bro. I mean, you're one of the most requested. I mean, everybody's like, "When are you gonna do one with Ono? When are you gonna?" And also, Caleb. How the fuck have I not done one with Caleb yet?
Well,
it must be because we're drunk lushes. Fuck you guys. That's it. That's just, you know what? If people want to paint that narrative, that's just the narrative I'm gonna go with. I'm just gonna be like, oh yeah, guys, I must have been drunk. Sorry. I'm just gonna.
No.
Go with now.
No. Remember, how we started the show for the first 10-15 minutes. The host will be with you shortly.
Oh my god, dude! The host is still not all here. Okay, I have news for you guys. The host never really showed up. I'm a proxy. I'm actually, you know what? I'm an AI. I'm an AI, and dude, it would be awesome if I could just get myself to like start like
Glitching.
out like in the Eminem interview. Ding. Shit. Yo, this has been almost, I mean, we talked about some real shit, but this has been legitimately 2 hours of us talking, and I knew it was going to be just Taylor Swift, Eminem, Taylor Swift, Eminem, Taylor Swift.
And this is why the part will be even deeper.
That's why people, we're heating up the fans and the Swifties.
Yeah, it's Taylor Swift, Eminem, and it is rated O and D.
Hell yeah. You about to OD on this. You about to OD on Ono and Dylan.
Yes.
For real though, but it's been great having you, man. Obviously I'm going to catch you again in a few hours because you're coming on the show tonight. But that being said, I do got to go get ready for that show now. And get my brain the rest of the way together because clearly it's not here.
Yeah. And I can't wait, Tom, for what you're dropping tonight.
Oh.
Yeah. Don't say nothing. We're not saying nothing.
All right, so this is gonna air after tonight.
Yeah.
But what I say about that is I wasn't exactly sure if I'm gonna do it tonight, and that's only a verse, bro. It's not it's not the whole song. It's only the first verse. So I might give people a sneak peek of the verse. I might not. I'm not exactly sure.
Inquiring minds want to know, so
it doesn't even have a title yet. It's just a verse that I just spat out of my fucking garbage hole here, and fucking I wrote it while I was driving. Basically, I had to fucking pull over to put the fucking shit in my phone. But we'll see. We will see. And you know what? Maybe if I do it tonight. If I do the first verse of it tonight, maybe y'all can help me figure out a title for it. And then we'll see it'll be interesting because this is going to come out after the episode. So it'll be interesting to see people's takes on it. Anyway, man, the one thing I always let everybody do at the end of Deep Cuts is if you have, and it's also a feature on the regular show now, you have 5 minutes or however much time you want to say anything to the world. Anything at all, whether it be an anecdote or a piece of advice, by all means.
Well, all I will have to say is 1, be kind to the animals because they don't judge you like humans. 2, when it comes to persons with disabilities, dude, we are all disabled in some way or the other. So check yourself before you wreck yourself because we need each other. Because Rome wasn't built in a day. We cannot do everything by ourselves. And your flaw, I could build on. My flaw, you could help me build on it. So stop the judging because we are one race, human. We are one religion, love. We are one piece. And no matter what, the third thing is, as I said in a joke earlier, forget religion and forget the politics because that is oral and anal.
One of them's trying to shove it in your throat, the other one's jamming it up your ass. Goddamn right. Oh yeah, no, that's getting clipped. That's getting clipped and put up on the YouTube almost immediately as soon as I have time. Oh man, but thank you, dude. It has been great to fucking have you. I'll catch you again in a few hours on the next show. Y'all can catch him again on tonight's show, which will be season 2, episode 4. But this will air after that. I'll probably post this up next week. I'm gonna have to do some editing and put those counters up here. And thank you for coming on. Thank you for doing this. Everybody keep a lookout for more Lost Boys presents Deep Cuts. They're coming to you soon. Make sure you tune into our live show. Go follow us on all the platforms. We do the live show on Facebook and YouTube every Saturday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. And then the YouTube channel is also where I put these episodes of deep cuts and extra clips. And you can go check out the audio versions of all the live shows on Spotify, Apple, iTunes, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Audible, iHeartRadio, Pandora, and anywhere else you find your podcast. Me and Brandon are going fishing very shortly and doing some stuff. So keep a lookout for Lost Boys Presents Lost in the Woods. I might just go out there and film some shit myself. Who knows? But keep a lookout for Lost Boys Presents Lost in the Woods. If you want to donate to us, it's Cash App, Venmo, and PayPal, LostBoy420X at any of those sites. And if you want to come on the live show, message me on Facebook at Dylan Lawler or email me at lostboy420x at gmail.com. Uno, if you'd like to plug, promote anything, go ahead and we'll get out of here.
Oh yeah. Well, on Amazon, no, better yet, go to my website, theunoexpoetry.weebly.com, and you'll get links to my socials. You'll get links to everything, my books. Coming soon, the Uno Eras. Not to be confused by Ding Taylor Swift Eras.
All right, man. Well, thank you for coming on, and I really appreciate it, and I'll catch you again in a few hours. Everybody else, stay true to yourself. If you're writing, keep writing. If you're making music, keep making music. If you whatever you're doing, keep doing it. Keep using it as a way to lift yourself up out of the darkness, and let's stay together, man. We're gonna win this war. We're gonna win this fucking war against the orals and the anals of the world. All right, well, fuck you. Peace out and good night.